Well, we finally passed the DC budget, and I want to thank the council for getting the budget passed and for preserving the shelters. You didn't preserve all of the human services. We didn't get everything we asked for, but I do want to at least thank you for preserving year-round shelter. Now, I do need to ask you this. You see, when you preserve the shelter and you have the homeless shelters, then you need to also provide services that move them beyond homelessness. You don't just want to warehouse them, but you want to improve their lives and move them beyond homelessness and get them employed and get them housed and so forth and so on. And so, Kwame Brown, I know that you have told me in the past that you're still big on workforce development, and so I want to call you out on that and hold you to your word. And let's talk about how we can get the homeless employed and how we can get them housed. So I want to know when we can sit down and have that conversation and make that kind of thing happen, because we don't have enough caseworkers at shelters. We have, in some cases, 2 caseworkers for 300 men. The men come in at 7 p.m. The caseworkers, they have shifts that run from maybe 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. And so most of this shift is before the guys even get there. And so we have to really improve the way that we deliver services that are designed to get folk beyond homelessness. And furthermore, Jim Graham, we've had conversations and email exchanges about the Dome Home. And we've now found some locations for the Dome Home. The man who started the whole Dome Home thing is going to be in town next week, and so we want to sit down with you and have some more very serious conversation about how to make that happen. And there's a lot going on here, and that's really coming together, and so let's not drop the ball at this point, okay? And let's make that happen. And also, I want to say that in a few days, myself and others are going to meet with people at the Office of Aging right here in the 441 building. And Rico Harris, the director of the CCNV shelter, has talked about this for some time now, about how he has dozens of elderly people inside the shelter, 65 and older. And so finally, someone from the Office of Aging has responded. We're going to meet with them, and we're going to see what can be done for the elderly. And also, I want to point out that a few years ago, there was a woman who was 88 years old at the time, and she got pushed down by accident inside the CCNV shelter and broke her hip. And I had spoken to DC government prior to her getting hurt, and they didn't do anything about her or other elders. And finally, after she broke her hip, DC government came through, and they now housed her. And so I don't want to see where all of the elderly have to fall and break their hip in order to get housing. And furthermore, you shouldn't have to be elderly or disabled. The previous mayor, Fenty, focused on the most vulnerable, but now we should focus on the least vulnerable, getting them out of the shelter and out of the system altogether. Because those who are least vulnerable, if you just give them that little push, they can go to work and they can hold their own, and they won't just be in supportive housing, they'll be out of your hands altogether. And so let's begin a more robust effort. Let's redouble our efforts to get the homeless into housing. Thank you.